Hello, it's Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today for another video tutorial. Today's video, I have a set of thank you cards that I'm making that I'll be sending out to my customers. But I wanted to show you how I'm doing this. And I'm using a stamp set that you can get if you're a hostess or a host. And you can purchase this with your rewards, or you have to just have a qualifying purchase of $150 for your party or your workshop. So this one's called the Gift of Love, and it is a step stamp. Okay, they call it two-step, but there's actually 3 steps to it, and I want to give you a little trick that I use for making this a little bit more precise or on. Well, I don't know about that. You decide. So let's get started. But first, I just want to talk about the colors that I'm using. I'm using some of Stampin' Up's new colors for 2016 through 2018. They came out with this June 1st, and you'll be able to purchase this now. So what I've done here is I have done these two in the same color, but I stamped off. And this is Sugar Plum, Sweet Sugar Plum. And then I stamped off, and it gives you a nice lighter pink when you do that. Okay, and then this one here is the Flirty Flamingo. This is full strength, and this is stamped off. Kind of gives you a little creamy, I don't know, peachy coral color. Really pretty. I love it stamped off. Kind of reminds me of another Stampin' Up color called Blushing Bride, but just a little darker. Okay, and then this one here is the Dapper Denim. Now, I did stamp this one off because Dapper Denim, excuse me, is a little bit dark. Let me show you. When I first stamped it, do you see how dark that is? And I didn't really think that that was very attractive, so when I stamped it off, it was a little bit nicer. And now this one, I did do the leaves, or the green part of this, with the Emerald Envy, which is also one of the new colors. Okay, so let's get started. What you're going to need is a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 5.5, and what I'm going to do is just fold it in half. You can score this. I'm going to just fold it in half, and I'm going to use my bone folder to make the nice crease here. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to be stamping the outline first, and for that I'm going to be using some early espresso. And I'm just going to tap, tap, tap on top of here, and let me get rid of some of the ink that I stamped on the block. And I'm going to bring in my piercing mat, my Stampin' mat, my Stampin' piercing mat, just so that it kind of has a little bit of gush to it, and it helps these photopolymer stamps. It just helps them get a better image when you stamp like that with this piercing mat underneath. Okay, now I am going to try to be as straight as I can on that edge, and I'm going to press down, not real hard, just kind of give it nice even pressure. Okay, and let that ink soak in. There we go. All right, now you're going to take your second image, which is the color of the flowers in here. Now I have it on my block right now, but I'm going to take it off, and I take it off every time so that I could just position it where I need it to be. Okay, my head gets in the way, sorry. That's about where I want it to be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring in my block, and I'm going to put my block on there, and I'm not going to move it. Okay, I'm going to bring in my Stamp-A-Majig tool. This is just, you know, I don't need the sheet. I just need this part just for this little angle, or this little miter here. Okay, now the color I said I'm going to use is Peekaboo Peach. Now, I've never used this color before on making these cards, so this will be the first time. I am inking up. Okay, I'm holding that Stamp-A-Majig where it needs to be. Okay, try not to move it, and here we go. Take that Stamp-A-Majig away. And voila, Looks a little orange. I might try that stamping off again like I did the other cards. Okay, and the next step is the greenery. Okay, this little green stuff we got going on. Now I'm like I did before with the color with the flowers. I am going to just go ahead and place this on here. Okay, and try to get it as straight as you can. And I'm going to bring in my, I'm going to be closing this up. I'm done with this color. I'm going to be bringing in some Garden Green, which is from the Regals collection. And I'm going to just go ahead and place this block on my stamp. Now I'm not going to move it again. I'm going to bring my Stamp-A-Majig in, okay, so that it holds its place there. Okay. Now this method only works when you've got your polymers, your photopolymer stamps, because you can see through them when you go to place it for the first time. Okay, here we go. Take this down. Let's see how we did. I'm always off just a little bit, but I'm okay with that. All right, now it's time to mask this off. And what I've done for masking is I have created a little mask using some Post-it notes. Now these Post-it notes, they have the sticky almost all the way through, and I got these at Walmart, so they're not very expensive, and they really do make good masks. And I'm going to just go ahead and layer this here. Okay, see, you've got the removable adhesive on it, just like a Post-it note. But what I need to do is I need to put a little bit of Scotch tape on there. But I'm going to put it on the back part of it. And you'll understand why. Yeah, let me just... Yeah, I'm going to put Scotch tape on the back part of it, because when I go to stamp the front, I want it to be, I don't want that Scotch tape to, because Scotch tape does not absorb the ink. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, here we go. Now let's take this, let's take our image, because that's what we're going to be using for our mask. We're going to do an outline of this. Go ahead and stamp it, and you're going to just stamp it right there. Okay, now you're going to take, you can take another piece of Scotch tape, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, and I'm going to put the Scotch tape right here, where the seam is on the front. Okay, and then take your paper snips, and then just start cutting out this image. I'm not gonna sit here and make you watch me cut out this whole image. It may take a few minutes, but it won't even take you a few minutes. Just trim around as much as you can, as close as you want. Okay, and so and then save it, because you'll always have the mask when you use the stamp set. Okay, now I've already got one made that I've used. So this is my well-used mask, and I'm going to just go ahead and place it over my image like this. Okay, still has some sticky after I've used it so many times. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my Hardwood background stamp. That's this one here, and okay, we are going to be inking this background stamp up with some Crumb Cake, which is a very light tan ink, very subtle. You could also do Sahara Sand, it's another one too, but I chose Crumb Cake for that, for this one. Okay, now I'm going to leave that open. So here's what's always the scary part for me. What I want to do is I want to take this and place my card so that it is kind of even and straight. I don't always do it right, but I get close. All right, and so that I don't get ink all over my hands, I'm going to place a piece of paper on top. this is just a little piece of my grid paper that I've used up, and probably used it in another video. And I don't throw it away until I get it all filled with ink. Okay, I am just giving this a light rub. There we go. All right, let's pick that up. And now let's pick this up. And there you have it. Okay. Let's put this guy over here. Okay, now I'm leaving this ink, this crumb cake out because I do want to sponge the edges, but before I do that, where I put the Scotch tape, like I say, Scotch tape does not absorb. I'm just going to wipe off that ink right there so that I don't get ink all over my hands. All right, now I am just going to sponge the edge. Okay, get in about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch. A 1/4 inch is probably a good rule of thumb for this card. And I want to define this edge a little bit more too, and I'm going to do that in just a minute. But I didn't take the mask off because I don't want this other ink to blend or to, you know, to accidentally mix with this crumb cake. Okay, now you can leave it at that if you want, but what I've done is I've taken, I'm going to take my early espresso that I stamped the first image with, and I'm going to take a sponge dauber, a little finger sponge dauber, and I am just going to go around that edge, just very, very fine line, and it just kind of makes this card pop when you do it. You don't have to do, you don't want to do a really, really thick line with this, or a thick brushing with this, sponging rather. Just a really, really fine line right on the edge, and that makes a big difference. Hope I'm still on camera here. I'm not even checking. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm leaving this early espresso ink out because I'm going to show you how I stamp my thank you, which is also from that Gift of Love Hostess set. And I'm going to take it off my block because what I do is I take my Stampin' and I place my card in the corner like that, okay? And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it right here on the top, and you can do the same on the bottom if you want your thank you on the bottom part or any part of the corners. Okay, now hopefully I have that straight. All right, and then I'm going to bring in my block. Okay, and so now even if I move this around, I know that I have this positioned, and I really excuse me, only have to do this once. Sorry, I'm getting over a little cold. So let's just stamp our thank you in the early espresso. It's kind of nice and dark. And of course you could probably go with a little bolder, a bigger sentiment if you want to. You know, there's no rule of thumb with this card. It's just you want to just show off the color against some neutral colors here. Isn't that pretty? And doesn't that look really, really nice along the stack of cards that I already have made? You're done here. Now, if you want to stamp the inside of the card, go right ahead. I mean, it's up to you. However you want to do this set, but it's so easy. Wasn't that easy? Stampin' Up just makes everything so easy for you. I just absolutely love all of the new colors that have come out with this year. So once again, if you need any of the tools or the supplies that I used in this video, please go to my website at www.geamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net, and I'd be happy to be your demonstrator if you already don't have one. And so I really do hope you try this card. And once again, I am Jeanette with the raspy voice with G Amazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.